Level 1, the profane. You stand on the sidewalk looking at a door with no handle. To the world, you are a success, a man with a career, a family, and a future. But here, you are the profane. You are the one who remains outside the temple, living in the noise and the chaos of the uninitiated. Your daily life is a series of questions. You feel a pull toward something older, something quiet, but you have no map. The environment is one of observation. You frequent the coffee shops and lounges near the lodge, hoping to catch a glimpse of the men who enter. You meet neighbors you've known for years, but suddenly you notice the ring on their finger or the subtle geometry of a lapel pin. They speak to you with a new kind of kindness, but there is a barrier, a wall of politeness that you cannot climb. In the power dynamics, you are a ghost. The system doesn't even recognize your existence yet. You answer to your own ambition. The men inside ignore your status in the outside world. Your wealth and your titles mean nothing at the threshold. You realize that the most difficult part of the system isn't getting in. It's realizing how much you don't know. You are a rough stone, jagged and unpolished. To become valuable, you must admit that you are incomplete. You must ask. You submit your petition, and for the first time in your life, you wait for a stranger to decide your worth. Level 2. The Entered Apprentice. The blindfold is tight. The air smells of old wood, beeswax, and cold stone. You are no longer in the world you knew. You are led by the arm, stumbling through a darkness that feels heavy and ancient. Your job is simple. Listen. You are a student of silence. You spend your hours memorizing symbols and words that feel like weighted keys in your pocket. The environment is the lodge room, a space of perfect shadows and flickering candles. You meet men from every walk of life, now dressed in identical white aprons. The judge, the mechanic, and the banker sit side by side. You are stationed in the north, the place of darkness. You visit the library, tracing fingers over leather-bound ledgers that contain the signatures of men long dead. You answer to the senior warden, but your real master is the clock. Every minute is a test of your patience. The older members watch you with a clinical eye. They aren't looking for talent, they are looking for the ability to keep a secret. You are at the bottom of a ladder that disappears into the ceiling. The realization is psychological. The apron isn't a badge of honor, it's a shroud for your ego. You learn that in this system, your individuality is a distraction. You are being shaped to fit a wall. You become valuable when you stop trying to shine and start trying to support. You prove you can hold a secret until it burns, and so they lead you to the next door. Level 3, the Fellowcraft. The blindfold is gone, but the light is blinding. You are now a worker. Your daily life is consumed by the 7 liberal arts. You are expected to master the geometry of your own mind. You are the field operator, the one who applies the theories of the lodge to the friction of the real world. You are no longer just watching, you are building. You work in the middle chamber. The environment is one of intense focus, blue velvet, brass pillars, and the constant rhythmic sound of a gavel. You meet the craftsmen, the men who actually run the logistics of the community. You visit the building sites of the soul, learning how to measure your words with the same precision a stonemason uses for a corner block. The power dynamics shift. The apprentices look to you for guidance, but the masters still speak in riddles you can't solve. You answer to the worshipful master, and the pressure to perform is constant. If you slip, the consequences aren't a fine or a firing. It's a quiet exclusion, a coldness that settles in the room when you enter. You realize that the system is a machine designed to eliminate friction. You learn that loyalty is the only thing that keeps the structure from collapsing under its own weight. You become more valuable because you have proven you can handle the tools without breaking them. You have shown you can be trusted with the work. Level 4, the Master Mason. The transition is a death. You are symbolically buried and raised again, and for the first time, the full map of the temple is laid before you. Your job description is now the architect of your own life. You are no longer told what to do. You are expected to know. Daily, you act as the stabilizer in your community, the man who remains upright when the winds of the world blow sideways. The environment is the heart of the lodge. You have access to every room, every ledger, and every secret word. You meet the elders in the sanctum sanctorum, where the air is thick with the scent of old paper and the weight of history. You visit the homes of the sick and the widows of brothers who have passed, carrying the silent responsibility of the brotherhood on your shoulders. In the power dynamics, you are finally a peer. You are no longer a student, but a member of the board. You ignore the distractions of the outside world, focusing only on the internal stability of the group. You answer to the ancient landmarks, the unwritten rules that have governed the craft for centuries. The realization is psychological. The secrets aren't about magic or hidden treasure. They are about the absolute control of the self. You learn that the system is a mirror, If you see flaws in the lodge, they are flaws in you. You become valuable because you are now a pillar. You are the one the others lean on when the structure trembles. You are ready to manage the flow. Level 5, the treasurer. You have been pulled from the floor and placed in the seat of the money handler. Your job is the cold reality of the institution. You manage the dues, the investments, and the hidden charities. While others speak of light and philosophy, you speak of numbers and sustainability. You ensure the lights stay on and the secrets stay paid for. The environment is one of metal and ink. You spend your nights in the secure office behind the main hall, surrounded by heavy safes and digital ledgers. You meet the donors, the silent, wealthy benefactors who stay in the shadows but keep the machine lubricated. You visit the banks and the legal firms, acting as the interface between the invisible world and the taxable one. The power dynamics are subtle but absolute. Everyone answers to you because you hold the fuel for their ambitions. Even the master of the lodge treads carefully around you. You fear no one, but you are ignored by the younger members who don't understand that a temple built on sand will not stand. You realize that power is not found in the ritual, but in the resource. You learn that silence is a shield for the group's wealth, just as much as its philosophy. You become valuable because you are the gatekeeper of the material foundation. You have proven that you can handle the gold without letting it tarnish your apron. Level 6, the worshipful master. For 1 year, you are the sun. You are the leader of the local hierarchy. Your daily life is a constant stream of mediation and administration. You are the judge of disputes, the conductor of the ritual, and the face of the lodge to the outside world. Every knock on the door is your responsibility. Every failure is your burden. The environment is the east, the place of light. You sit in a throne-like chair under a canopy, looking down at the brothers you once sat beside. You meet the leaders of other organizations, the mayors, the judges, and the CEOs, who come to you not as citizens, but as brothers seeking counsel. You visit the grand seats of power, representing your local cell in a larger global web. The power dynamics are intoxicating and dangerous. You have the gavel. Your word is law in the room. You answer only to the Grand Lodge, a distant and watchful eye. The younger brothers look at you with awe, while the past masters watch you with a critical, knowing silence, waiting to see if you will break under the crown. The psychological realization is a heavy shadow. The higher you climb, the lonelier the view. You realize that to lead, you must become a servant to the rules you once thought were just suggestions. You learn that justice is often a trade-off for peace. You become valuable because you have survived the pressure of the spotlight without letting it blind you. Level 7, the Grand Secretary. You are the keeper of the memory. While the masters of individual lodges come and go like the seasons, you are the permanent ink. Your daily life is the management of the Great Archive. You handle the warrants, the charters, and the blacklists. You are the strategist who tracks the movement of every member across the entire jurisdiction. You are the central nervous system of the organization. The environment is a labyrinth of mahogany shelves and climate-controlled vaults. You work in the Grand East, a place where the architecture is designed to make the individual feel small. You meet the international delegates, men who speak different languages but share your secret vocabulary. You visit the archives of state, cross-referencing names that appear in both the lodge's ledger and the history books of the nation. In the power dynamics, you are the shadow behind the throne. The Grand Master may wear the jewel, but you hold the keys. You answer to no single man, but to the continuity of the craft itself. You are feared by those with skeletons in their closet, for you are the one who knows exactly where they are buried. The realization is psychological. History is not what happened, it is what was recorded. You learn that the system survives by pruning its own branches. You see the names of those who were expelled for cause erased as if they never existed. You become valuable because you are the bridge between the past and the future. You are the one who ensures the story stays consistent. Level 8, the Grand Inspector. You are the auditor of souls. Your job description is corrective influence. You travel from city to city, unannounced, to observe the work. You ensure that no local cell is deviating from the ancient plan. You are the advisor who whispers in the ears of the powerful, steering them back to the path when they begin to use the lodge for personal gain. The environment is a blur of high-end hotels and midnight lodge rooms. You are a nomad of the hierarchy. You meet the problem children, the ambitious young men who try to modernize the ritual, and the old men who have let the temples decay. You visit the boardrooms of corporations and the chambers of government, not to participate, but to remind the brothers there of their primary loyalty. In the power dynamics, you are the great equalizer. You answer only to the sovereign. The worshipful masters who once felt like gods in their own rooms now sweat when you walk through their door. You ignore the pleas for leniency. You are there to measure the stone, and if the stone is cracked, you order it removed. The realization is dark. Purity is a weapon. You learn that the system's strength comes from its intolerance for deviation. You see that the brotherhood is a selective filter, designed to trap the weak and promote the cold. You become valuable because you are the one who can say no when everyone else wants to say yes. You are the guardian of the brand. Level 9, the Sovereign Grand Commander. You have reached the apex of the Scottish Rite or the regional equivalent. You are the power manager. Your daily life is no longer about ritual, it is about geopolitics. You manage the relationship between the secret world and the visible one. You are the one who decides which charitable foundations receive millions and which political movements receive the silent nod. The environment is the temple of the Supreme Council. It is a place of absolute silence and terrifying symmetry. You meet the true titans, men whose names are never in the tabloids but whose signatures move markets. You visit the sites of the great work, observing how the seeds planted decades ago are finally coming to fruition in the cultural landscape. The power dynamics are cosmic. To the world, you are a retired businessman or an academic. Inside the room, you are the font of authority. You answer to no living person, only to the obligation you took decades ago. You ignore the petty squabbles of the lower ranks. You are focused on the grand design that spans generations. The psychological realization is a cold vacuum. Influence is invisible. You learn that the most powerful movements in history were never led by a man in a crown, but by a consensus of men in a circle. You realize that you have traded your identity for an office. You are no longer a man. You are a function of the system. You are the one who ensures the circle remains unbroken. Level 10, the Tyler of the Great Portals. You have ascended the entire ladder only to find yourself back at a door, but this time you are on the inside, looking out. Your job description is the ultimate fixer. You are the one who stands between the secrets of the inner circle and the chaos of the world. You are the final filter, the one who cleans the mess before it can stain the temple floor. You ensure that the public sees a charitable fraternity while the gears of power turn in total darkness. The environment is the quiet room, a space that exists in no blueprint. It is where the most sensitive decisions are finalized, the ones that are never written down, never recorded, and never spoken of outside the presence of the 10. You meet the cleaners, the men whose only job is to ensure that the silence remains absolute. You visit the places where the line between the government and the craft has completely dissolved, ensuring that the grand work proceeds without a trace. In the power dynamics, you are the ultimate ghost. The lower ranks don't even know your office exists. You answer to nothing but the survival of the system. You have the power to erase a man's legacy, to collapse a career, or to elevate a non-entity to the heights of the visible world. You ignore the light that the apprentices seek. You have lived in it so long you realize it is just a different kind of darkness. The psychological realization is the final, cold truth. The system does not exist to change the world. It exists to contain it. You learn that power always has a cost, and that cost is the total loss of the self. There is no man left in the chair, only a function of the machine. Silence isn't just a rule, it is the real currency. Control is the only god. You realize that the great secret is that there is no secret at all. Only the realization that someone always has to hold the door shut. And today that someone is you. The work is complete.